Hi, I'm Geoff Dean, your Player Development Director, and today's coaching tip is on how to increase club head speed, which is ultimately going to help you to hit the ball farther. So join me out on the practice tee and let's go over some tips to help you increase your club head speed and really remarkably change how far you can hit it. I'll see you in just a minute.
Today's coaching tip is on how to increase club head speed. There are several ways to increase club head speed, but today we're going to talk about the most important one, and that is how to create leverage or hinging your wrists in the swing. There are four main power centers in the golf swing: your ability to rotate, your ability to coil and spring off of the ground, arm speed, and then hand speed. Well, today we're going to talk about hand speed, or how to create leverage in your golf swing. So when you take the club back, it's a matter, we've talked about this a lot and we've seen it. As you take the club back, you turn and your wrists create this angle here in your backswing. Well, that's creating a lever or leverage in your golf swing. Now, what we want to do in the golf swing is to be able to establish that lever. And then in a lot of the great golfers you'll see on television is that even when they start down, that angle actually increases for a moment, and then their club lets go or releases on the follow through. But a lot of golfers will try to hit the ball with power, and they'll typically do it with their dominant side, which tends to be, for a right-hander, the right side of the body. So most of us will get up there, take it to the top of the backswing, and then we'll try to throw at it from the backside. And notice what's happening here is you're diminishing your angle, or you're diminishing your leverage. It has been tested that over 70% of your club head speed comes from your ability to hinge and release the club, or to establish leverage. So what we want to be able to do is to create a motion where the club is hinging and releasing. Notice what I'm doing in this little gesture right here. I've created wrist set or angle, and I'm letting it go. Notice how fast the club is going through, and I'm doing very little in the motion. Well, the golf club is designed for the human body, and the human body is designed to create leverage, at least in terms of golf. We can create leverage and let it go. We can use a lot of body motion. We can try to muscle it. We can try to hit at it, but that doesn't necessarily produce faster club head speed, but it definitely forces us to give more force into the swing. So it may be one of those swings that feels very heavy, swing that you've given a lot of effort to, but you're not particularly maximizing club head speed. So here's a drill to help you to establish a better hinging of the club and releasing. You're going to take your grip per normal with your left hand. Take your right hand off the club, as if you're a right-handed golfer. You're going to take your index finger and thumb off of the club, and you're only going to hold the club with 3 fingers. Now, you're going to take little practice swings, and you're going to feel the club swinging freely in your hand. It's going to feel a little out of control, but technically it's very much in control, because you're letting the club swing and release. If you can see the club hitting the ground, I'm hitting the ground in the same location each time, and it's largely because I'm simply letting the club head swing. Now, when we take the club to the top of the backswing, and with this type of concept, when I start my downswing, this angle actually increases. So that's a tremendous amount of what we call lag, and lag should happen anyway, naturally in your golf swing. We shouldn't have to create lag. It will happen in your golf swing. So as we take it up to the top, and if you're holding on to that front hand lightly, index finger and thumb still off the club, as you start down, that you'll feel a lagging of the club and then a whipping through. Well, this is what we want to feel in the normal golf swing. But again, when we take the club back, typically we get it out here, and then we try to throw at it and extend from the right side, or the side that's seemingly more dominant. So once you've taken a couple of swings with your lead hand only, with your fingers off of the club, go ahead and place your index finger and thumb back on the club and feel this hinging and releasing motion. You should feel the club head swinging by, hinging, releasing. So notice I'm not pulling my left arm out of the way. Notice the club is not released doing it this way. What I've allowed is the club head itself to simply release past my body. This is going to enable you to not only swing the club faster, but the club itself is designed to open and close, and that movement right there is going to help the club open and close and square up at impact more often than not. The club itself is designed, if I were to hold it at an angle and just swing it back and forth, is designed to open and close and swing back and forth. And it will square up at the bottom of the arc, which is where the ball is. So in a sense, the club already knows what to do. We just need to allow it to do what it was already designed to do. But most of us are guiding it through or hitting at it, and that's what's causing the challenges of, well, really our golf game in general, but definitely challenges in creating club head speed and distance. So again, when we get set up here, I want you to try this little drill where your left hand is on the club. You're going to feel a free setting of the wrist, and you're going to feel a free releasing of the club. And if I were to let go of the index finger and thumb, you're going to really feel the club whipping in my hand, and that's going to affect club head release tremendously. Now, when we put our hand on the club, or both hands on the club, and we set up to the golf ball, we want to feel that same freedom of motion as we swing and release through. It's going to cause a tremendous amount of club head speed, but it's also going to enable you to square the club up at impact. So let's take a look at a few shots down the line, and we'll go into a little bit greater detail. So here I am getting ready to hit a few golf balls, and I've set up the camera for a down the line shot so I can show you how the wrists set and release and create more leverage and thus more club head speed. So if I were to turn to the side and show you the drill that we just went through, is I create a lot of leverage or wrist set in my backswing, or on my backswing, in my backswing, and I want to simply let that club release. I want to feel a lot of freedom. Notice I'm not moving my body a ton, but I am letting the club release. I want to point out a key factor in our golf swing is that when we swing and we swing down to the golf ball, we're not starting here and rotating and then hitting the golf ball. We turn, we set, we pivot, and we release the club, and then I rotate to my finish. So we want to feel a freedom of motion where I'm hinging, releasing the club, and that's going to free up your golf swing. All of those golf swings that you felt where you've swung very lightly, very free, very fluid, those are the swings that we typically hit really well in a long way. That's not a fluke, that's how we're supposed to do it. And where it comes from is your ability to basically get the club to swing freely. So notice I don't even have to move my body to get the club to swing. So we're going to not worry so much about our overall body movement, but we're going to focus on arms and especially hands so that we can allow the club to release freely. So let's take a couple of shots. I'm going to get set up, light grip on the club, hinge, release. Notice how I started the club back with a little wrist set and a simple release. Hinge, release. It's a light swing, ball flight's going pretty straight, and it's going a long way. Now, some say, could you do that with one arm? Well, absolutely. If you just simply do the same idea, 1, 2, and you'll notice that the ball will go. If I can hinge it and release it and simply let it swing, you're going to develop a lot of club head speed with not a lot of effort. So I'll do it one last time. We want to concentrate on being able to set the wrists and simply release the club. And in the end, it's a light, free-flowing, easy golf swing, but you'll hit it a long way. So I would encourage you to try this drill at home. Get the lead club in your hand. You can even choke down on it so it makes it a little bit easier. Take your index finger and thumb off of the club so you're gripping it with the last 3 fingers. You're going to turn and hinge the club, feel a little play in the club, and then feel the club releasing freely in your hand. All I'm doing is pulling the club with the back of my lead hand or my left arm. I'm pulling it and letting the club swing by. That's the essence of this drill, is to feel the club release. This is how we create lag in the golf swing. This is how we create greater club head speed with not a lot of effort. This is the essence of how to hinge and release the club. Then I would recommend getting out there and simulating that same type of feeling with both hands, understanding the left hand is doing the work. We're going to step up to it again, feel a freedom of setting the club and letting it release. You're going to see the ball travel a lot farther and straighter. But if you're having trouble with this tip or any other, please feel free to contact me at gdean@pgawest.com. And I would love to work with you here at the practice tee if you have any questions about this drill or others. So feel free to contact me again, gdean@pgawest.com. Continued success, and I'll see you soon.